Hey guys, in this video I wanted to talk about something that I think that a lot of people need to consider when they are cutting, and this is really important to hear because I think we all get caught in this sort of, I call it the vortex of getting lean, because it gets really addicting, especially because changes when you're cutting happen very fast as opposed to when you're bulking. Like the reality is that, even if you're taking anabolic steroids, muscle gain is a lot slower than you would actually want it to be. But with fat loss, it's, as long as you can, starve yourself enough, and deal with, being hungry, a little bit low energy, you can lose easily a pound of fat loss, per week, pretty sustainably. Now, this is going to be regarding how lean should you get during your cut and knowing kind of when to stop it, because this is something that I've struggled with in the past, again, because you get kind of sucked in to the whole, you're making lots of progress, you're seeing changes, and it just, you want to see how lean that you can get. And so I think that number one consideration that people need to make is whether or not at the end of their cut, if the body fat percentage that they are at and the sort of lifestyle that they know is going to be necessary to maintain that body fat percentage, as well as calorie intake, is going to actually be sustainable for them. I think that especially with the Instagram age, and I do this all the time when I look at bodybuilding competitors, because getting down to like 5% body fat, 7%, that 5 to 7% range, which is where most people step on stage at, like, looks really impressive. It's like art to me, and I think something that we all need to consider is that really basically everybody, when they get down to that lean, they always talk about how they look great and they love how they look, but how life is just hard. They have no energy, they can't eat anything, they're just super food focused, their training isn't as good, and obviously I think it's okay to get down to super lean, like stage lean, for example, if you have a bodybuilding show or if you have a photo shoot. There's a good reason for it. But in my opinion, if you're getting down to be like so lean that to that extent without really having that goal in mind, I think that you're really shooting yourself in the foot from a long-term progress standpoint and just enjoyability of life. I really do think that for most people, being within that 9 to 15% range, that's a really aesthetic, lean physique where you're going to have definition. You're going to be able to see your abs, and be able to have, eat and, plenty of calories to fuel training, not be super food focused. And wherever you fall on that spectrum, it's going to be different depending upon your genetics, what sort of lifestyle that you want to live, hunger patterns, etc. Like I personally maintain around within that 8 to 12% range year round, and I never really lose my abs, and I usually feel pretty good. But once I get down below or above that range, I start to not feel great, and that's like when I really have to start fighting my physiology. Is something that I think that you need to just ask yourself is, what's the goal of this cut? Is it to get down to an unsustainably lean body fat percentage for a special occasion, like I said, a show or a photo shoot, or is it to cash out my cards once I got down to a body fat percentage where I know that I can probably sustain this? And this will take some experimentation, because it does feel different dieting down to a certain body weight or certain body fat percentage than it does actually living at that body fat percentage. So something that you want to actually really focus on is, I guess, how you're feeling along the way, and then taking diet breaks around your body fat, a certain body fat percentage, see how many calories you can eat and how you feel there is going to be super important. But I really don't think that for most people, going below really 9-10% is really worth the trade-off. That's still very lean. People really underestimate even like how lean 15% is. I see so many people that say that they're 15% body fat. I'm like, nah, homie, like you're like 20%, like 20%, like 15% is you have like, you can still see like your upper abs, you have separation in like your back, your delts, your arms. 10% is like that, Hollywood leanness, honestly. It's essentially how I frame this is like 15%, say for 200 pounds, is 20 pounds above stage weight. It's assuming you're going to get down to And 10% is 10 pounds above stage weight if you're 200 pounds. So that puts things into perspective quite a bit. But I guess my main thing here is don't diet yourself down to the point where you're setting yourself up for failure, a nasty rebound with food. This is why it's important to pace your fat loss, because ideally I think that you shouldn't be like in such a large deficit where it's extremely noticeable or detrimental to your overall lifestyle. You know, where you're not super food focused, because ultimately, you know, if we're doing this for fun, it should enhance our quality of life and not take away from it. So hopefully that makes sense. I just think this is something that a lot of people need to think about. I mean, even Greg Doucette talks about how, you know, you can even pay him $1 million to maintain 5% body fat or like that stage leanness, just because of how bad he feels there, and he feels much better around 9 to 10%. And you know, as a strength athlete myself, it's like it's not productive to go below 9 to 10%, because, you know, injury risk goes up. I can't recover from as much training volume. I'm not as durable, etc. So, you know, if you want to push yourself for a special occasion or whatever, if you know like it's unsustainable, that's totally fine. Just make sure that you get out of that as fast as possible. Get out back up to that 9 to 10% range. So then you can start, you know, making training progress, having fun lifting weights, because ultimately you should enjoy your training. You should be enjoying your life. You shouldn't be, you know, miserable day to day. And there's a lot more things to life than just having abs, you know. So hope you guys like this video. If you guys did like it, please let me know. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.